recording.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome all the Toastmasters and guests to another wonderful meeting at Vasco Toastmasters Club. More importantly, the last club meeting of the term. I am Toastmaster Varun, the Sergeant at Arms of the club. Before we begin, I'd like to remind everyone to please keep your phones on silent and keep your mics turned off so we don't distract the speakers. I would like to now read out the mission statement of a Toastmasters Club, which is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication as well as leadership skills, which results in greater self confidence and personal growth. Now, to keep things moving forward, I'd like to welcome the president of Vasco Toastmasters Club, Anthony Gomes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Sergeant at Arms, for that lovely introduction. And good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests who are with us. Last August, and even before that, there were a couple of Toastmasters who were putting their heads together to start a club. To start a club in our city of Vasco, because that was one city which was missing Toastmasters energy. And with continuous efforts, we finally had the nascence Vasco Toastmasters Club. We started in August. We had our own ups and downs, but majorly we have seen, I think, a lot of sunshine and touchwood for that. Today, as the charter committee of the club celebrates its last meeting and rather paving way for the new team, I welcome you all to this session of the Toastmasters. Today being our 23rd meeting, we have with us a lot of guests. But before I go ahead, for the benefit of guests, I would like to mention that Toastmasters is a non-profit organization. It's an international organization that was started in the 20s. It was majorly to help the speakers to communicate better and also to develop their leadership skills. And in doing so, the club, the organization has come a long way. And today it is present all over the world. In fact, in Goa, we've got around 9 to 10 clubs, plus some more clubs in the pipeline. And that is an evidence of what this wonderful organization does to its members and how it propels us into the direction of self-discovery, but at the same time, self-improvement. Now, that being said and done, I would like to have our guests who are with us maybe introduce yourselves in a line or two. There are some who have been with us previously, and there are some who are there for the first time. So probably a line or two, how did you know about this meeting? What are you expecting from this meeting? And yeah, a little bit about you. I think we should start with Varish.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Anthony. Hi, everyone. A very charming day to you all. My name is Varish, and I work in Thar Exotica, and I live in Vasco. And I came to know about this Toastmasters Club in 2018 because one of my friends at the Stammering Institute of association, he was also a stammerer. He told me to just to get yourself acquainted with this club where basically they give you a lot of speeches, I don't know, to talk. So once when I went to the YMCA Tanjim where they used to conduct this meetings, so I came to know about this club on some years back. Yeah.
Great, thank you so much, Varish. I think I must comment on the way you took the stage and you went speaking, because I remember this from the time you started today. You really nailed it with whatever you said. In fact, because you mentioned YMCA, I think Meenal and others will also agree with me that you should meet Rajesh, Toastmaster Rajesh, who is now going to be the area director, he had similar problem of stammering, and today is quite an eloquent speaker. So definitely Toastmasters does a lot to oneself. So thank you, Varish. We'll come back to you towards the end of the meeting to tell us how you felt about it. Let's quickly go to another person who I quite admire. This guy was my student, one of the brilliant ones, okay, who would always throw smart questions at me. Not that I would dodge them, okay. Even if I did, don't tell them. So Kenneth, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anthony. Good evening to one and all here. My name is Kenneth, and currently I'm pursuing my master's in hospitality from Manipal University. I'm from Belgaum, Karnataka, and I am specializing in marketing and branding right now. And I had this thought for joining Toastmasters a long time back, but because of so many other situations at home and be it your regular chores at work, I couldn't get into it. But then eventually I got in contact with my friend, but I'm very open with him. I share so much of things with him. So I got in touch with him and I told him that finally I've got the space. I'm back home. I finished my exams. I'm all want to go for it and get into the Toastmasters club. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Kenneth. And I'm sure you'll have fun. Okay, stay with us till the end, and we'll come back to you. I would also like to appreciate the presence of Toastmasters from the other clubs who have come to help us. Thank you, Toastmaster Central, for being with us. I'm Toastmaster. Where is she gone? Mansi. Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi. Also, the guests who are guests to us, but a family to Toastmaster Siona. I can see, audience behind. So welcome to them if they can hear. Yes. So that's with the guests. At the same time, I would like to welcome Siona officially as the division director. She's a division director. So I thank you for your presence. Now, before I go ahead, I would like to mention to all the club members that there's a small surprise for you at the end of the meeting. So stay tuned and be with us till the end. Okay. At the same time, just after the meeting, there will be club officer elections that will happen for 5 minutes. So all the members, the guests can also wait to see who the new committee, who the new committee members would be. Followed by, there will be a 15 minutes last ExCom meeting. So you're welcome to wait for it to see how it goes and what happens and so on and so forth. Okay. So that's all with the announcements. Having said that, I would like to introduce to you the next person who will take us forward with this meeting. Now, this person who is somebody who has been a major support for me through my journey as a president of the Vasco Toastmasters Club. He is somebody who has made my life easy because he was and he is still the VP at the Vice President Education. Many times people don't tend to answer VPH calls, but I have no choice. I have to answer. Okay. And today, please put your hands together for one person who has promised me a speech, but I think he will fulfill it in the next term. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vishal. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anthony. A very good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I am Toastmaster Vishal Sharma, the Toastmaster of the day. In a Toastmasters meeting, the Toastmaster of the day is like the host of a ceremony. I will be taking you through today's session. Before we go ahead, there is a change in the agenda. The role of Evaluator 1 will be executed by Toastmaster Mansi Iyer instead of Toastmaster Clyde Terrace. And the role of the General Evaluator will be executed by Toastmaster Senthil Raja instead of Toastmaster Ashley Fernandez. I would request a proposer and a seconder to pass this motion.
Toastmaster of the day, I propose the motion.
Then I second.
For me, really interesting happens. Look,
Did the motion.
Thank you. Mortimer J. Adler once said, habits are formed by the repetition of a particular acts, and they are strengthened by an increase in the number of repeated acts. I guess we all agree to this. For the past 22 meetings, we have all indulged ourselves in honing the skills of being an effective leader and a better speaker. I've truly enjoyed the camaraderie that I've shared with my fellow Toastmasters from within and outside the club. I hope everyone present here feels the same. Keeping this in mind, let's start today's meeting. A regular Toastmaster meeting is generally divided into 3 segments. Firstly, the prepared speech segment. For the benefit of our guests, every member in the Toastmaster journey chooses an educational path. This is chosen based on their objectives of joining Toastmasters. Each educational path has certain projects that the member has to undertake with the help of their mentor or other coaches. This setup allows the member to learn from the experienced Toastmasters and also to discover themselves. Today, in the prepared speech segment, we have 2 such enthusiastic Toastmasters. They know what their objectives and goals are. Today, they will deliver their speeches based on the project objectives. Each speaker will be speaking for a duration determined by the project required and will be evaluated by another Toastmaster. The second segment is a table topic segment, also known as the impromptu section of a Toastmaster meeting, wherein the Toastmaster table topic master gives you a topic on the spot, and the speaker will be asked to speak for or against the topic. Guests, please note, this section is open for all, so don't hesitate, come forward and participate. The last segment is the evaluation segment. Evaluation is the heart of the Toastmaster educational program. You observe the speeches and leadership roles of your fellow club members and offer evaluations of their efforts, and they do the same for you. To help us conduct today's meeting efficiently, we have 3 Toastmasters who, through their roles, will ensure the quality of the meeting is upheld. I would like to request these role players to come forward and explain their roles to the audience. Firstly, we have our grammarian. She is someone who is new to the Toastmaster community, but has shown excellent potential. Since the first time she took the role of an R counter, she won the Best Minor Role Player Award. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Akansha Parhia, the grammarian for today's meeting.
Good evening, everyone. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuses of the English language as well as any outstanding words or phrases or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, I have decided to introduce a slang instead. A slang is an informal word or a phrase used in the common context, which we should be well versed with. So the slang of the day is dinosaur. Dinosaur simply means very old and outdated when referring to a thing. While referring to a person, it means someone who is old-fashioned, has a conservative way of thinking, or someone who resists change, or even someone who is unable to cope up with the changes in the modern world. Since these words are commonly used, replacing it with the slang dinosaur would be a delight to watch and give an element of fun to today's meeting. An example of the slang would be, a keypad phone is a dinosaur in today's world of smartphones. And I've tried so hard to make my grandfather understand the same, but he's such a dinosaur when it comes to modern technology. All my efforts have gone in vain. I encourage all the speakers to use the slang of the day. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akansha. Our next role player, we have the R counter. This Toastmaster has been with us as a charter member of Vasco Toastmasters Club and has made us laugh a lot with his humorous speeches. Put your hands together for Toastmaster Swayam Nayak, the R counter for today's meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. As an R counter, it's my duty to note down crutch words such as so, but, well, filler sounds such as and unnecessary pauses and repeated phrases, and make the speakers aware of their usage. This will help them to become a better public speaker. Well called upon by the general evaluator, I'll present my R counters report and also crown the member or guest with the highest number of crutch words and R's as the R king or queen of today's meeting. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Swayam. Lastly, we have our timer. She is one of the newest members of Vasco Toastmaster Club. Even though she hesitates at times, I feel she has the potential of an excellent speaker and leader. Put your hands together and help me welcome Toastmaster Usha Jeswar, the timer for today's meeting.
Good evening, Toastmasters and the guest for the day. As timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speech, and evaluation. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using green, yellow, and red card, which denotes specific time remaining. I'm sharing my speech. Please confirm if this is visible to you all. For table topic, time limit should not be more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise my green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I will raise red card. For formal speech, time limit should be 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card, and 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. For evaluation, time limit should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card, and 3 minutes, I'll raise the green card. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Usha. Let's begin with the first segment of our meeting, the prepared speech segment. Our first speaker for today's meeting is Toastmaster Gopal Chumala. Toastmaster Gopal is one of our charter members, a leader who has demonstrated exceptional leadership skills through his participation in various meetings and as the treasurer of the club. Before I call him to take the screen space, may I request his speech evaluator, Toastmaster Mansi Iyer from Toastmaster International Margao, to read out his speech objectives. Toastmaster Mansi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. My speaker, Toastmaster Gopal, the purpose of his speech is for him to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback in his second speech. So all the best for your speech, Toastmaster Gopal. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi.
Thank you,
Toastmaster Gopal. Toastmaster Gopal, my experiment with COVID. Toastmaster Gopal.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal.
Just a second, Toastmaster Gopal. Zoom Master, can we have the timing cards?
Yes. Timer, you may share your screen. Requesting all the members to pin the speaker so that you can see the speaker. If you're on your desktop, please ensure the screen is divided equally between the shared screen and the speaker. Thank you. You can put the view into side-by-side speaker mode. Yes, it's all good.
Toastmaster Gopal, my experiment with COVID. Toastmaster Gopal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and guests. You know what is the most searched word in 2020? COVID? Yes or no?
Yes.
Absolutely no. You know, surprisingly, the most searched word in 2020 is election results. Probably that's the reason for COVID spread. People were busy with elections and we are all infected with COVID. Because in Toastmasters, we don't talk about politics, I'm not going into that subject. Let me straight away jump into the topic. My experiment with COVID. It was way back in 2020, almost a year and 4 months back. I underwent a minor surgery and was taking rest at my home. And it was a lean period for me. I don't have any work. So therefore, I was actively scanning all the newspapers and TV channels. That also is a bad habit. When we search so many news, obviously we start concerning about many things. One news which attracted me at that point of time was COVID. And in fact, that point of time, it was called as coronavirus. And it started in a small part in China. I'm pretty confident that China can handle anything. Exactly that's what happened. China controlled coronavirus, but the world couldn't. Let me share one experience which I had in the earlier part of the COVID. In the month of March, the Prime Minister announced lockdown. And on the second day or third day of lockdown, I was sitting in my home, and my house is located on a hilltop with a nice view to the backwater. And that day I was sitting in the balcony and watching the nice scenery. A group of young people, they gathered at the waterfront and started celebrating. And this continued for 5 minutes. Suddenly the police came and they started tracing these people, left, right, center. And it was a funny moment, but not so funny because people were beaten very badly. So COVID taught us many things. Let me tell you three big lessons I learned from COVID. Lesson number one, we need very few things to survive. On the day of lockdown announcement, I quickly barged into my kitchen. I started checking the ration. I had few household items with me and plus very few green vegetables. And I started calculating how many days I can survive. Probably a week. So I thought that, okay, let me continue for a week and let's hope that things will improve. And thank God, in a week's time, we started getting the things. But not of our choice. Given a choice, I will eliminate the word cabbage. I hate cabbage. But unfortunately, on a day when I have to survive only with cabbage, surprisingly, it also started tasting nice. I didn't have pizza, I didn't have burger, I didn't have any junk food for almost a month. But still I survived and very healthy. My lesson number two, family is above all. My family stay at a different place, far away, in a place called Hyderabad. And I used to travel once in a fortnight to see my family. This is because of my kids' education, I'm sacrificing. And on the day of lockdown announcement, I was literally worried, what is going to happen? Can I see my family? And every now and then during the lockdown period, I used to book my flight tickets, and they used to, airline agencies, they used to cancel the flights. A month passed, 2 months passed, 3 months passed. Literally frustration started creeping in. I was worrying that, can I again meet my family? Thank God, after 3.5 months, finally the restrictions got eased out and I could able to book tickets for my family. And finally, I could safely transfer my family back to Goa. That was the happiest moment for me. Lesson number 3. Technology can transform the world. In the initial days of lockdown, we were worrying, how do we get the goods? How can I attend the office? How can I attend the meetings? And we had so many apps developed during this COVID time. And even with the technological, breaking the barriers, the scientists could able to develop the vaccine. Normally, it used to take 4 to 5 years. But because of the technology, they could able to develop the vaccine within 1.5 years. I'm going to tell you a secret. I have attended an interview in this lockdown period. virtual interview. I got selected. And what is more interesting is my joining is going to be virtual. So this is the power of technology. With technology, we can solve any problem. In the last 1.5 years, it was very devastating for most of us. Most of us lost our dear ones, and we were all passing through a very difficult time. But there are better days ahead. We are coming. Having said that, are we going to eliminate the COVID? Absolutely no. It may continue for a few more years, or maybe we have to continue with this virus forever. But only thing what is going to happen, at least I am predicting that we will learn from the past mistakes and we are going to improve a lot in the coming future. Probably our healthcare infrastructure will improve a lot in the coming days, and also our personal hygiene also will be better in the coming days. And I'm praying the God, and I'm praying for a better days ahead. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gopal. Feedback is an essential part of a Toastmaster meeting. I would request you all to take a minute and send in your feedback to Toastmaster Gopal through private chat. Timer, could you let us know once 1 minute is up?
One minute over.
Thank you, Timer. This brings us to our next speaker, speaker number 2, Toastmaster Abrar Sayyed. Toastmaster Abrar joined Vasco Toastmasters Club as a charter member. During his time at our club, he has excelled as a communicator through multiple speeches and club meeting roles, as well as demonstrated his exceptional leadership skills to get in new members as the VP membership of the club. Before he takes over, I would request his speech evaluator, Toastmaster Siona Fernandez, to read out his speech objectives. Toastmaster Siona.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. My speaker, Toastmaster Abrar, is pursuing his visionary communication path, and he's doing his level 2, project 2, introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envision mentoring. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of previous experience as a prodigy. You have 5 to 7 minutes, Toastmaster Abrar. All the best.
Before we start the time, I would just like to know if I'm audible and visible to everyone.
Yes, you are, Toastmaster Abrar. Toastmaster Abrar, a stupid question. A stupid question, Toastmaster Abrar.
Hi, doctor. I haven't slept for 41 hours. Please, could you give me some medicine or something? I just want to sleep. Okay, Abrar, take propanol 10 mg, not a dose higher, and only take when it's needed. Look, you shouldn't get addicted. Good evening, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. I want to share a story about a man, my inspiration, He resided in the Gulf for most of his years. He was a kind and a humble person who always watched over my shoulder. He's been a mentor to me since the time I've started to speak as a child. He has always guided me and supported me in all my ideas and everything that I do in life. We spoke about everything. He was he was very much upset when someone was not on time. Punctuality mattered to him the most. And he said that everyone has got a limited time, please respect it. Be it religion, be it life, be it ideas, we spoke about it. And all the questions that I had, he would never answer it directly. He would always put me in a position that I had to go out on my own, figure it out. And then when I discussed with him, he would then come back and tell me that there are no right or wrong answers. They are all just perspectives. I still remember when I was 13, he told me the only mantra in life, what you should keep close to your heart is to be kind and be nice. Being nice helps, and being nice will come to you in ways which you will never expect. And after 25 years living in Gulf, on 16 Jan 2021, he decided that he's going to leave Gulf and come back and live with his family. And this time for good. I thought, great, he's coming back to his family. Now I'll get to see him at his house and spend more time. But on April 29th at 9:45 p.m., when I was out with my friends, I get a call from a doctor who's a friend of mine. And he said that my mentor's medical reports are not so great. We have to urgently shift him to the hospital. When he moved him to the hospital, the scenario was bad. We got him admitted. There were no beds, no proper oxygen, not even proper hygiene, something that had mattered to him the most. The only thing which we're looking up to was the treatment. I still can't forget. I saw two deaths within the first hour of the admission. How many deaths do you guys see in a year? One, maybe two. Look, when it comes to blood, I know I'm faint hearted, but I had to help somebody move a body in order to clear the bed. My mentor, was lying on the hospital and couldn't do much without the oxygen support. I used to witness more than 10 deaths in a day. And every time a patient would go, there used to be, I can't explain. There used to be this heartbeat which would go so higher. I would see an ECG machine, it would go so higher that every time that used to happen, I used to wake my mentor up and be like, hey boss, are you there? Look, talk to me. I had to be strong and I had to use his advice. Don't panic. Look out for solutions. And that's what I did. I think I'm not so strong enough that I would have withstand such a scenario, but I should always go back and reflect every time I moved out of that ward and be like, what would my mentor have done? What would he have expected me to do? And I think that got us through. And after 21 days, he was finally to his house. My mentor passed away on 8th June 2021. And when he passed away, I realized that I had to continue his legacy ahead. I was subconsciously picking up all his learnings, all his guidance. And I think he was just getting me ready for all. And now when people talk about him, talk about his values like punctuality, being nice, looking out for solutions, I think it's so important. I think there was so much to learn from him, a true mentor. And this mentor, my friends, is my father. He's not here in person today, but I'm sure he is watching from above and he's proud of me. Coming to Toastmasters, I love this concept of the mentor and mentee relationship. I think a mentor really helps the protege to accelerate his path towards his goal. And mentoring is like a barter system. And a mentor has the experience to share his experiences and his learnings, while the protege starts building up his foundation and gains more experiences. It's like if you have to climb a mountain, it's good to ask someone who's already climbed one. It's that kind of a situation. And when it came to my father, I used to ask him a lot of questions. I was a curious kid, and he would never discourage me or judge me for my questions. He said, there's nothing like a stupid question. It's only stupid if you don't ask. So, Toastmasters, do you have any? Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abrar. Timer, could we have 1 minute of silence? And I would request all the guests and Toastmasters to send in your feedback to Toastmaster Abrar through private chat. Thank you, Toastmaster Usha. I thank both the speakers for delivering mesmerizing speeches and for the audience for being patient. Timer, have both the speakers qualified and have they delivered their speech within the time limit?
Yes, both are clear.
Audience, we will now have voting for the best speaker from the names given. Toastmaster Abrar, Speaker 2, and Toastmaster Gopal, Speaker 1. I would kindly request you all to vote for the best speaker. Zoom Master, can we have the polls?
Those who haven't voted, kindly vote. We'll stop the voting in a few seconds. Yes. Yeah, it's done.
Thank you, Zoom Master. With this, I conclude the first segment of our today's meeting. This brings us to our next section, that is the table topic. To help us conduct this segment, I would like to invite Toastmaster Meenal. Let me tell you something about Toastmaster Meenal. She is the reason I am a Toastmaster today. She is everything other than a dinosaur or something new. She is the PR queen of our club, or should I say, the division. She is one of the most dependable friends and a leader who ensures the meeting goes on, no matter what, by releasing those inspiring posters on time and pushing everyone to participate. Over to you, Toastmaster Meenal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. Am I audible and visible, everybody?
You're not visible.
I am not visible, audible.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now
Meenal,
you are.
Yes.
I am visible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So, hello and good evening. A little sentimental after that speech, and even more because it's the last meeting of the current XCOM. And although I'm playing a role as a table topics master, I'm also part of the XCOM, so I'm going to miss all the banter. Nonetheless, welcome to the meeting. And as a table topics master, as our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vishal, rightly explained earlier during the meeting, this section is completely dedicated to impromptu speaking. Now, a lot of you, or maybe most of you, might be familiar with the concept of just a minute. It's when you're given 1 minute and a topic, last minute, where you get to speak whatever comes to your mind. And you barely get any time to put your thoughts together. Table topics is something similar, just a little more fun. And of course, it's more than a minute. So the green card would go on at 1 minute, indicating that the speaker has qualified for the speech as well as the voting results. The yellow card would go on at 1.30 and the red card go on at 2 and will stay for a grace period of 30 seconds. It doesn't mean that you have to stop after that, but since it's table topics, it would be nice to, although you might be disqualified for the voting. Nonetheless, since today's topic of the theme of our meeting is once more, I thought maybe we could do something that we've all subconsciously been doing, but we've never really acknowledged, which is revisiting our memories once more. So today, instead of giving you a topic, I'm going to give you a word. And that word is not going to be a slang like dinosaur, but it's going to be a word which evokes a memory and would be great if you could share that memory with us, just limited in the time of 1 to 2 minutes. I think I'll go first and ask if there's any volunteers. Anybody volunteering? Others I'll pick, it's easier. Anybody?
Hello, Meenal. This is Kenneth.
Yes. Yes, Kenneth. Okay.
Yes.
So I'd like you to pick between the number 1 to 12. Can you tell me the
yes,
number?
7.
7. Okay. Kenneth, your topic or your word for the table topics is dreams.
Okay.
Kenneth, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. So I would be speaking for dreams. Dreams. I put out something on my Instagram bio very well said by C.S. Lewis is that you are never old to dream a new dream and you're never too old to set a new goal. So we all should have dreams and we should keep pursuing for our dreams and keep pushing for our dreams. It is extremely important to dream because in our subconscious mind is something that goes on that we really want to put out in our reality. So be it dreaming about buying something or achieving something in your personal or your professional life, and also be it anything for your own good. So dreaming is really important according to me. And at the same time, if I have to say against, then dreaming I don't think so. Personally, dreaming makes sense because dreaming is just sleeping and you're not going to put it in reality. You just like to spend all night in bed and all time sleeping, and you don't want to put it into reality because you don't know what to do. It was just a dream and it was only your subconscious mind putting into that kind of a fantasy world. But at the same time, I would also say that I would speak against it because if you keep dreaming, you will just keep sleeping, and there's nothing that you're going to do about it. And you might just probably don't know what you're going to do next, how you want to achieve it, how you want to go about it, and how you want to set up things to achieve that dream. So that's all I would like to speak.
Wow.
Hello?
Yes, you're good. We'll wait just wait for Meenal. Meenal?
Am I?
If I may request everybody when Meenal is speaking, if you could just keep our videos off, maybe that could help the bandwidth.
I am so sorry.
Go ahead, Minal.
My internet is also sentimental today. Nonetheless, thank you, Kenneth. I'm sure you completed just in time. And as much as I've been able to hear, it's a little ironic thing that dreams are something that you see with wide eyes open. It may sound ironic because you just said that it's something we do when we're sleeping. Yes, that's true. But a true dream is something that you do not really remember when you wake up. A true dream is more aspirational that you want to pursue with your eyes open. So thank you so much for that, Kenneth. Can we have our next speaker? Would anybody else like to volunteer? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
Table Topics Master, we've got Bryce, Toastmaster Bryce, who have volunteered with a hand raise.
Thank you so much. Hi, Bryce. Can we have you pick from 1 to 12 except 7?
3.
3. Okay, Bryce. So your table topics word for today is farm.
Farm.
Farm. Over to you, Toastmaster Bryce.
Okay.
Tell us the first memory that comes to your mind.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I have been to a lot of farms. I've seen a lot of beautiful farms here in and around Goa. I've like in my own village, I have seen a nice watermelon farm. Like in my own village, which is known as Parra. Parra is very well known for its watermelons. So I've actually seen a lot of watermelons which are grown in the month of that there's a season that comes between that the Kharif and the Rabi season. So it's grown around that time, and we even have a what is known as a watermelon fest that actually takes place that time. So in that time you can actually see a lot of nice watermelons grown in the farms like here in and around the in the village. And I've also seen wait okay, over to you, Toastmaster Minal.
Thank you so much, Bryce. That was indeed a very tricky word. But thank you for the information of the Watermelon Fest. I've heard about cashew and coconut and bread. That's a powerful. And for me, farm relates with George Orwell's Animal Farm because it has both animal and satire in it. So can we have a next speaker? Would anyone like to volunteer?
We have
you can help me out.
We have Toastmaster Manish, who's raised his hand.
Toastmaster Manish?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello. It's great to see you back after a long time, indeed.
Great to be back.
Okay, if you could help us with a word number between 1 to 12, except 3 and 7.
I will take 3.
I beg your pardon?
3, number 3.
Except 3 and 7, sorry.
Oh, sorry. See how the mind works. Number 5.
Number 5. This is quite an easy one and something that's also very relevant currently. So Toastmaster Manish, your word is monsoons.
Wow.
Over to you.
Am I visible and audible to the audience?
Yes.
Just to check, the green card is on, is it? It's always on?
Well, for today's meeting, it will be on. It's only when, yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay. Wow, monsoons. It brings up so many memories, right from childhood till today. I guess most of us at Toastmasters are able to connect with the childlike or the child times when we were young kids, where we had this absolute, total uninhibited way of getting out, playing in the rains, getting the clothes dirty, mucking around. And now, as getting a bit of a dinosaur type situation, I find that not very easy. I also find that a lot of kids don't actually like to go out and play in the rains, play in the mud. They consider that to be for people who are not really, up here. They are the more, tribal sort of mindset. So, well, my memories of getting wet, of course, led to a lot of fun. Enjoyed with the team. We played football, we played hockey, we played a variety of games. We also, got wet, but of course, it also led to health problems, a cold, a cough, a fever. But our parents were pretty cool about it. It's not like what it has happened in the last 2 years. A couple of a little warm water with ginger and honey, and we were ready to go. So monsoons brings some fabulous memories to me, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of months, next 2 to 3 months of great showers and great monsoons. Over to you, Toastmaster Meena.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manish. Monsoons is indeed a special time because as kids, it is right when you begin school, and it brings back a lot of childhood nostalgia, especially the games that you play. For me, it was always hide and seek and Lagori Kustu, the typical ones that you play on the road, where you refuse to go home, even if it's pouring outright. So thank you so much for that, Toastmaster Manish. Can we have a new volunteer? Before I take another speaker timer, if you could help us with how many speakers can we take? How much more time do we have?
One more you can take it. One more.
Okay, one more. So who would like to be the last speaker for the table topic session today? Come on, volunteer. No dinosaurs, please. Sorry, that would be no dinosaurism. Anthony, if you can help me out with the videos and check if someone's volunteering, or else I'll pick my ultimate bakra.
I think you would. I think you would want to maybe pick a member now.
Okay. Toastmaster Nigel.
I knew this was coming.
Okay, could we have you pick a number from 1 to 12, except 3, 5, and 7?
Let's go with 12.
12.
Yeah.
Indeed, another easy one. Toastmaster Nigel, your table topics word for the day is cashew. Cashew, Toastmaster Nigel.
Meenal, before the timer starts, cashew, right? As in cashew feni, that cashew?
Yes.
Perfect.
Cashew nut, but yes, cashew feni as well.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Have you ever walked down a farm in the monsoons, drawn towards this smell, a faint smell that gets stronger and stronger as you get closer to it, wondering, mesmerized by the way in which that earthy smell eventually becomes so powerful that you are encapsulated in its aroma. And you wonder, what is that smell? As a kid, I walked up to a guy that was squishing and squashing cashews with his feet, wondering, why would somebody do something like that? Was he trying to clean his feet? Or was he trying to create a scent for, I have no idea. And that is when I remember turning to my mom and asking her, Mom, why is the guy doing what he's doing? Hearing that question, my mom began to explain to me that that was the process of creating cashew feni, and it was made out of cashew. Growing up, I got to taste cashew juice, but never the feni. And I always wondered, what is the difference between cashew juice and cashew feni? Until one fine day, like I'm sure many of the adults in the room in Goa have experienced, your friends force you to try and have cashew feni. But they don't tell you that that is cashew feni. They tell you it is an exotic drink. And so you try and have as much as you can. And what happens after? Well, I'm going to have to tell you at my next table topic. Over to you, Toastmaster Meenal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nigel. This is a bit of a sensitive topic, so I might not actually comment on that because it's neither Feni nor the cashews. I'm the Urrak person, and that was not supposed to be said out loud. Nonetheless, another thing that I would like to bring to your notice, especially for the guests, if not the Toastmasters, Toastmaster Nigel used two techniques in this. One is the association, where he used the previously delivered words by other speakers and connected the dots. He also used a throwback technique in which you live through a memory that you've already experienced and you narrate it out loud. So you see, table topics is not just restricted to a yes or a no or a debate or giving your opinions. You can definitely experiment thinking out loud with your words in a limited time frame in many ways. Since today is like our last meeting as the ExCom, and I'm reiterating that, Toastmaster Anthony as the president, can we take maybe one more speaker?
Well, yes, since it's our last meeting, I permit you in my capacity as a president.
Thank you so much. Would you like to help me pick someone?
Sure, why not? We have a couple of them. Maybe any of the role players would like to speak. If not, how about Senthil? I know he's a general evaluator, but
Yes.
would you want to request him?
Toastmaster Senthil, would you like to give it a try?
Yes, I will do it, Toastmaster Meenal, but I would suggest we ask one of our guests to talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think all the guests are covered because they have some of the other roles today.
We have
Varun.
Varish and Kenneth. Maybe we can ask them to give a try.
Kenneth has spoken. Varish
I
is
think
not
he
in the
is
room.
dropped off. I think Varish is dropped off. So I think Varun is left. Is it?
Yeah.
Varun,
would you like
to give it a try?
Varun?
Do we have him in the room?
No, we don't.
He's
I mean,
not
we
there?
have him. Sorry, he's in the room.
No
But I'm sure
problem. I'll go ahead. I'll go with Meenal.
Okay. Okay, Toastmaster Senthil, would like you to pick a number from 1 to 12, except 3, 5, 7, and 12. So 1, 2, 11.
Oh, 4 is my favorite number. I'll go with 4.
4. It's indeed my favorite word as well. So Toastmaster Senthil, your word for table topics today is ice cream. Ice cream, Toastmaster Senthil. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenal, for that wonderful introduction, calling me as Ice Cream Toastmaster Senthil. It takes me 25 years back when I first got my ice cream from my mother. I was always a crying and demanding child. I've never tasted an ice cream before. I wanted to get something from my mom, which she cannot give it to me at that time, but she gave me something else. You know what it is? It's an ice cream. I was quite content and happy to have the ice cream than what I wanted to have at that point of time from her. The ice cream was something which made my day that day. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters guests, I could relate that situation even today. You deserve for something, and your friends, your parents, your better half knows what you want than what you are desiring within yourself. Sometimes you may not be able to judge you, but people around you, people like you, Toastmasters, and even the guests over here, you can judge a person better than what the person actually is thinking of himself. I am doing one such role today. When called upon by the Toastmaster of the day, I immediately accepted to take up the role, and I thank Toastmaster Ashley for that, because I am given an opportunity to evaluate people over here and also get evaluated by all of you. Thank you, and take up any role as they come. Over to you, TTM Minal.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Senthil. Ice cream is indeed the ultimate peace offering. At least my better half knows that. And besides, the ultimate logo for a lot of my friends is ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. So I think on that note, bidding farewell as your Table Topics master. But before I leave, can we quickly have the timers report if all the speakers have qualified for voting? Timer, have all the speakers qualified?
Yes.
Okay. Can we have the voting for best table topic speaker? We have Toastmaster Bryce, Toastmaster Senthil, Toastmaster Manish, Toastmaster Nigel, and our guest Kenneth.
And Toastmaster Senthil.
I said I read it in a different order, sorry. Yes, come on, quickly, quickly, quickly. Fastest fingers first. Not that you're going to get a prize, but yes.
Those who haven't voted, kindly do so. There are a few people who haven't voted. Please do so.
Master.
Yes.
Quick. Zoom Master, are we done?
10, yeah. Hold on. 10 more seconds. Those who haven't done it, please go ahead. And okay, thank you so much.
I just felt like Donkey from Shrek asking if are we there yet? But that's your Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Meenal, signing off for today. I'd like to hand over the meeting back to our TMOD, TM Vishal. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenal. This brings us to the last segment of our meeting today, the evaluation segment. To lead the evaluation segment, we have with us our general evaluator, Toastmaster Senthil Raja. Toastmaster Senthil is a part of MAPSA Toastmasters Club, an excellent speaker and leader. Toastmaster Senthil somehow get married is the most popular speech that I guess most of the veteran Toastmasters have heard. It was such a hit that Toastmaster Senthil got married post that speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Senthil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal, for that wonderful introduction. In fact, it was after that speech I got married. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for all your encouragement in Toastmasters. And I also thank the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vishal, for inviting me to this meeting. Even though it was last minute, but I feel it was not a dinosaur. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters, my dear guests. I just wanted to give you what is a general evaluator role all about. It is to evaluate everything and anything that takes place throughout a meeting. It's not a dinosaur. It's not conservative, rather it is radical, which means I will take note on everything that happens and doesn't happen in the meeting. I will also evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look forward for good preparation, how the meeting is organized, the way the speeches are delivered, the overall enthusiasm of the members who are participating in the meeting, and how they have performed their duties. I will give a very comprehensive report at the end of the meeting, but before that, I will call upon the role players who will help me to prepare my report, which I am going to give you at the end of the meeting. So I have the speech evaluators, Toastmaster Mansi and Toastmaster Siona, who is also the divisional director. I also have the grammarian Akansha, our counter Swayam, and timer Usha. I will call upon each of you to present your report, basis which I will be able to give my feedback and suggestions and how overall you can improve the upcoming meetings of your club. Okay, to start with, I call upon Evaluator 1, Toastmaster Mansi, who is very fondly called as Madgaon Mansi, to read out her evaluation of Toastmaster Gopal's speech. Over to you, Madgaon Mansi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Central. And timer don't start as yet. I am not able to see Toastmaster Gopal.
Toastmaster Gopal, if you could just put your video on.
Toastmaster Gopal, it would be nice if you put your video on. And
Yes. Mansi?
okay, now that I can see him, I'm not able to see the timer cards. So timer, along with your cards, also type in the chat. Okay?
Yes, I will help you with that.
Okay, I'll start. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and my dear speaker, Toastmaster Gopal. Toastmaster Gopal, you started with a humorous question. What is the most searched word? So this just grabbed our attention and made us want to listen to the rest of the speech. After that, you used a lot of personal anecdotes on what you learned from COVID and how it affected your life. So when you use personal experiences in your speech, it automatically comes from the heart and this gets reflected in your speech. So that was really wonderful. I feel that your voice was really clear. It was a very simple topic. You used a slow pace, and I must tell you, it was a complete pleasure for the listener. We did not have to make any efforts in understanding your speech. A small suggestion that I would like to make from my end is that although your pace of speaking, your pauses, they were just perfect, it would be nice if you can inculcate a little bit of voice modulation and a bit more emotions and dramatics. For example, when you were talking about that family is above all, you could have used a little bit of dramatics that I kept booking my tickets, but the tickets kept getting cancelled. And I feared that will I ever be able to meet my family in the near future? And finally, I was able to get them to Goa. So that dramatics and voice up and down would have got a lot of interest in your speech. Overall, I feel that your speech was very well structured. It was a really great speech. You had wonderful eye contact. And the most important part of it is your comfort level. You are very comfortable about what you are talking about. And it was really nice. I feel just a little bit more dramatics, intonation, voice modulation, if that you could inculcate in your future speeches, you will really reach greater heights. And I would like to wish you all the best for your future speeches. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you.
Was I within time?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Mansi. You are very well within time. You did a fantastic job. Thank you so much for helping me to put out a very good report. For the benefit of the guests and the Toastmasters who have started the journey very recently, if you have observed of Toastmaster Mansi's evaluation, she has used a CRC approach. CRC approach is something that we use in Toastmasters, which is command, recommend, and command, which means you come up with some good aspects of the speech. You give few recommendations about the speech, and finally, when you conclude, you commend how the speech went well, and also giving the overall improvement aspects of the speech. A very good job, Toastmaster Mansi. Let us give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Mansi. Okay, going to the next evaluator. While I have listened to her many evaluations in the past, it's not a dinosaur here. She always comes up something which is very innovative. I call upon my evaluator 2, Toastmaster Divisional Director Siona, to evaluate Toastmaster Abrar's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Siona.
Thank you, Toastmaster Senthil. Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters and my dear speaker, Toastmaster Abrar. Toastmaster Abrar, do you still need a sleeping pill? If you need one, I would recommend Flashback. Walk down the memory lane of the good times together for a good night's sleep. Thank you for introducing us to the kind and humble mentor, your guide and the light of your life. Your speech required you to share some previous experiences as a prodigy, and you did it so well. With your imaginary style, you took us on a trip of being away from someone who you loved the most, being so happy to have him back after 25 years. The man who inspired you, your mentor, like any other mentor in Toastmasters, they always give us food for thought that help us to grow in our thoughts and in spiritual life and in your life as a whole. I could feel the pain of losing someone very dear. Throughout your speech, you were in control of your emotions. Hats off to you for that. With the right pace of words, just flowing like a stream of water. You were very clear in passing on the legacy you received from your mentor, reminding us all that values matter the most. Instead of losing your cool in the hospital despite all the problems, you tried to look for solutions. You tried to find answers to what your mentor would have done. I know it's difficult, but again, I can feel that you have really picked up a lot of values from your mentor. Just like the doctor prescribed a pill to get a good night's sleep, I would prescribe one for you to enhance your speech. Your speech title was The Stupid Question. I would have loved to hear your stupid questions you posed to your mentor and share the lovely memories. I'm sure with the kind of person that I know you are, you must have had real stupid questions. And I really want to know what the stupid questions were and the answers that your mentor gave you in return. Well, we do not choose the day of our birth and of our death. While on earth, we need to do our best to pass on the legacy left behind by our mentors. And I wish you do the same to your prodigies. Wish you all the best again. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Siona, for that wonderful evaluation. You always had all audience before you, and today you had behind you as well. Toastmaster Abrar, I think the pills he has suggested to you will help you improve your speech in your upcoming speeches. Thank you, General Evaluator, and I thank myself for getting an opportunity to witness Siona's and Mansi's evaluation for today. And before we move forward with the meeting, I would like to hear from the timer if both the evaluators have qualified, so that I can ask the Zoom master to launch the poll. Timer?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so
Both are qualified.
Both are qualified?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Usha. Can I ask the Zoom master to launch the poll?
Yes, there we go.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have got the poll. I request all of you to vote for the best speech evaluator. We have evaluator 1, Toastmaster Mansi Iyer, and evaluator 2, Toastmaster Siona Fernandez. Over to you guys. Please vote for the best speech evaluator.
Wait for a few more seconds. If you haven't voted, please go ahead. And that's it. Yes.
So we got all the votes?
Yes, we've got.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anthony, for that confirmation. Okay, so without waiting further, let's move on to call upon the minor role players to read out their reports of today's meeting. I have the grammarian, Akansha. Ladies and gentlemen, Akansha means aspirations. She has got aspirations to become better in her life and to let out the dinosaur which was there in the past, and to innovate and improve upon every day and day out. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome the grammarian Toastmaster Akansha.
Thank you, General Evaluator Senthil, for that beautiful introduction. Hello, everyone. The report goes like this. Starting with the usage of words and phrases, words like aspirational, satire, nostalgia, encapsulated, and the phrase thinking out loud must be added to our vocabulary. Moreover, some beautiful thoughts and quotes were shared by our own speakers during the meeting. Starting with Toastmaster Gopal, he shared 3 lessons which were quite insightful. Toastmaster Abrar came up with a beautiful thought: if you want to climb a mountain, go to someone who has climbed already, and there is no such thing as a stupid question. Our guest speaker, Kenneth, shared this beautiful quote: you're never too old to dream a new dream and never too old to set a new goal. And our general evaluator, Senthil, shared a beautiful thought: you can judge a person better than what a person thinks of himself. Indeed, it was a meeting full of learning. Coming to the word of the day or slang of the day, dinosaur, it was used 6 times during the meeting. That's it with my report. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Akansha, for taking up the role of grammarian and coming up with such a precise report. Thank you so much. And now let's call upon our counter for today's meeting, who is going to inform about our king and queen, and also how we have to improve as we move forward in the journey of Toastmasters. For that, we have Toastmaster Swayam. Swayam means self-inspired. He is a self-inspired person, and without any further ado, I welcome him to inspire us. Toastmaster Swayam, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Zoom Master, I would like you to allow me screen sharing, please.
Yes, you've got the rights.
So during the meeting, quite some speakers used filler sounds and unnecessary pauses. Almost all speakers use counters report. I would like all I would like you all to look on your screen. Zuma,
Yeah, go ahead. Timer, you may have to hold on with the sharing. Our counter, please go ahead.
Here's my accountant's report. I would request all the speakers to observe your respective reports. Okay. Now it's time to crown our king. It's a king for today's meeting. So the king for today's meeting is
Kenneth.
Thank you so much.
Toastmaster Kenneth.
Congratulations, Kenneth.
I hope.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, that's how we learn. We learn
Yes.
mistakes, and we will improve ourselves better with all the learnings.
Yes. I'm eager to learn and grow.
Sure. Toastmaster Swayam, you have any other points to communicate to us?
Yeah. Hopefully, Toastmaster Kenneth be abdicated from his throne by the next meeting. Thank you. This is all by my side. Over to you, General Event.
Thank you, Toastmaster Swayam, for bringing out that Excel sheet to us and make us learn that where we are lagging and where we are, all have to improve as we move forward in our journey. It's a fantastic report. Thank you so much for putting it across to us. Okay, so next we have the timer who keeps the time of the meeting. We have Toastmaster Usha. Usha, ladies and gentlemen, if you know the meaning of Usha is dawn. And it is very important to know what time it is dawn for us, and we are in dawn already, coming out of this pandemic. So without any further ado, I welcome upon Toastmaster Usha to give her timer report. Over to you, Toastmaster Usha.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So I'll begin with prepared speech. Toastmaster Gopal took 7 minutes 9 seconds. Toastmaster Abrar 6 minutes 9 seconds. And table topics. Toastmaster Bryce took 1 minute 45 seconds. Our guest Kenneth took 1 minute 42 seconds. Toastmaster Mansi 2 minutes 4 seconds. Toastmaster Nigel 2 minutes 9 seconds. Toastmaster Santi 2 minutes 12 seconds. For evaluation session, Toastmaster Mansi took 2 minutes 23 seconds. Toastmaster Shona took 3 minutes 13 seconds. Our grammarian took 1 minute 7 seconds. Our counter 3 minutes 40 seconds. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Usha, for that wonderful report. And I believe all the role players have qualified in terms of time. I would request the Zoom master to come up with the poll.
Yes. There you go. Requesting participants to please vote for the best minor role player.
Yes, we have timer Toastmaster Usha, accountant Toastmaster Swayam, and grammarian Akansha Parihar. Ladies and gentlemen, please cast your vote for the best minor role player.
We'll wait for a few more seconds and then we will go ahead.
Sure.
And yes, we're done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Anthony, for helping me out in coming up with the polls for both evaluator and the minor role players. And okay, so timer, are we running on time? How much time I have to present my report? Timer, Toastmaster Usha.
Amaz, yeah, you've got 8 minutes as per the agenda, General Evaluator.
Sure. Thank you so much. Okay, so it is my primary responsibility to give the learnings that I had in the meeting and the suggestions as well as feedback on how you can improve your meetings going forward. To start with, I really commend Vasco Toastmasters to put up such a commendable effort in organizing this meeting. I believe you had got 2-3 role players from outside of your club, and you have arranged it very well even before the meeting has started. I joined around by 6:50, and I could see all your members were very enthusiastically interacting with each other. Kudos for creating and setting up such a tempo before the meeting. Thank you so much. And coming up to these Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Varun, you started the meeting on time. Bang, at 7 o'clock, the meeting started. You were informed by the Toastmaster of the day as well as the president that all the role players were there in the meeting, and who have not, and also you got the information that they will join little later. So you started the meeting on time, and you stated the mission of the Toastmasters, which is very important, why we are here as Toastmasters. And you stated it very well. And you also stated the do's and don'ts, that what in the online virtual platform, what we need to do and what we should not. So you set up the tempo of the meeting very well. Kudos to your effort, Toastmaster Varun. And only one suggestion, Toastmaster Varun, to you as well as the president as well, if you could have requested all of us to keep the cameras on as much as possible, at least during the prepared speeches segment, that would have helped the speakers very much. We are here to learn not only on the way we speak, but also we wanted to learn from how the audience responds to our speeches. So I think going forward, you may suggest people to turn on their cameras when prepared speeches segment is going on, and as well as for the table topics section at least. So that is one suggestion from my side. And coming to the Zoom master and the president, Toastmaster Anthony, you set up a very best example of how a president has to inform his audience that what Toastmasters is all about. You also introduced the guests, Varish and Kenneth, to the club very well. And most importantly, it is your duty to acknowledge and introduce the division directors and the area directors, the seniors who are present in the club. You introduced Division Director Siona. Kudos to you. I appreciate that very much. And the last, you also introduced that Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vishal. So the introduction was very well. But what I have one suggestion, that if you could incorporate in your upcoming meetings, but I believe this is your last stint as the president, but I hope you will come back as president in the next term or the subsequent terms, but and also whoever is taking up the role of president next time, I would request you to set up the tempo by clapping, by encouraging the people in the meeting to smile, to talk, and you have to set up the enthusiasm. So this comes from the president and also from the Toastmaster of the day and from the Sergeant at Arms. You guys are the ones who are opening up the meeting. So some of you have to incorporate the enthusiasm into the meetings. You are responsible to get up that enthusiasm. It's not only the role of the president or the TMOD. I would say it is equally, but all the three role players who start the meeting are equally responsible. Okay. So now when we move to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vishal. So that was a fantastic, very clean, very smooth transition you have made while we moved from one segment of the speech to the other segment. You called for a vote when there was a change in the role players. I commend it, and you got the acknowledgement from the audience as well. And I encourage the future Toastmasters of the day who are going to take up the role to do this, so that it becomes a practice in all the clubs. You did a very fantastic job, Toastmaster Vishal. Keep it up. I have very few observations, but overall you did a very fantastic job. Kudos to you. And coming up to the evaluators, Toastmaster Mansi and Toastmaster Siona, both of you did a commendable job, but I would request, it's a suggestion for Toastmaster Mansi to elaborate the speech objectives in a little bit more exhaustive manner. Because of what I could see, and I also believe the audience would have felt, is the speech objectives were not elaborately told to us. So which means it is difficult for us to relate what the speaker is going to communicate to us. So that is something that you can incorporate in your upcoming evaluations. Toastmaster Siona, you did a fantastic job. I don't have any suggestions, but I think as a senior Toastmasters, you could bring about more enthusiasm in the speaker. You could add more to the speaker. That's one suggestion. You could come up with more suggestions that the speaker can improve upon in a 360 manner. So that's something which I would recommend. And coming to the table topics, Master Toastmaster Meenal. Toastmaster Meenal, I have one suggestion right away, which is that your topic should somehow relate to the theme of the meeting. I have an observation where your theme, the word of the day, and the table topics should somehow relate to each other, which is something which I felt did not synchronize in today's meeting. But as we move forward, I think we should make sure that these three topics should synchronize together, so that we could relate ourselves as a guest, as a participant. You should somehow relate the theme, the word of the day, and the table topic section together, so that the meeting becomes very, very impressive. So going forward, I think you can improve upon that aspect as well. The second thing, in the table topic section, I would suggest that you invite experienced Toastmasters to talk first. Someone who is in the Toastmaster journey for several years now, you can make him or her to talk first, so that the rest of the people who are going to follow will feel confident in giving their speeches. So the order shall be someone who is experienced, someone who is not taken up a role, someone who is a Toastmaster and he has not taken up a role in today's meeting. That could be the second. And third, you should give preference to the guest who is not, if he is not a Toastmaster or he is a new Toastmaster, you can give a preference. So that way you are engaging the entire audience. People are come here to speak, to learn, and be engaged. So somewhere we have to, as leaders of the meetings, we should somehow have to relate everyone in the meeting. Otherwise, you may lose out on the guest or the participants for the next meetings in case you wanted to invite someone. So that is about, that's my suggestion for the table topic section. And coming to the minor role player section, grammarian, R counter, and timer, you guys did a fantastic job. I have very minimal observations, but one suggestion, don't start with what you are today. That's not something that we wanted to be in Toastmasters. Try to improve upon. You gave a very good report. You all three gave a very good report, but you can, if you get through the web or if you get an opportunity to attend to other clubs meeting, people do innovate. They come up with very innovative styles of giving their report, even though it's a very minor role, but trust me, it gives a lot of learning in Toastmasters. You may see grammarian, R counter. I'm not going to learn anything, but it is definitely, if you put your efforts, if you put your mind and soul, you will definitely learn out of it to become a better communicator and a leader. Overall, I think the meeting is very good. I would like to have such kind of meetings one more time with no dinosaurs in it, and we will perform better than what we are today. With that, I would like to hand it over to the president, Toastmaster Anthony. That's my report for to you. Over to you to take it further. Thank you so much.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Senthil. Please join me with the applause, ladies and gentlemen. For the ones who joined in a little later, what we were going through here was the evaluation session, or that's the third part of a Toastmasters meeting. We had a prepared speech section, we had a table topics, and this was the evaluation session, wherein we were learning from whatever we had done, whatever we executed. This is how we learn. We get real-time feedback without heckling anyone, but through the methods which are well defined by Toastmasters International. Thank you, Toastmasters Central, for bringing out points which were quite relevant to today's meeting and also to a general well-being of a regular Toastmasters meeting. So thank you. Before we go ahead, we're coming to the end of the meeting, I must announce, I would like to launch a poll for the best major role player. We had 3 major role players. We had the Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Vishal, Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Meenal, and General Evaluator, Toastmaster Senthil. The poll has been launched. Please vote for the best major role player according to you. I will keep the poll on for a few seconds. Few more seconds and then we will. Okay, those who haven't voted, please go ahead. And there we go. Thank you so much. I've got the best major role player. Now, if you remember in the start, I had announced that there is surprise waiting for the members. Hold on to your horses because we will have that soon. But before we go ahead, I would like to mention that in our club, some of our members have had quite unfortunate situations in their families. And during that time, the members have been with them. They've been part of their sorrow and the grief. So today, I would request one of our members, Toastmaster Siona, she would like to address you for a minute or so. Yeah, Siona. You're muted. Still muted. Yes, you're good.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anthony. 2021 has been not so good to many, not so good to many. And I'm lost. I would like to thank everyone for being so supportive in those times of our days. Many of our Toastmasters, especially to Vasco Toastmasters, have lost our dear ones. You all were very understanding. You all did your best to be with us in not physically, but emotionally, spiritually, and guiding us and helping us in all the ways. I'm really grateful, and on behalf of Vasco Toastmasters, I would really like to thank everyone for being very supportive in our tough times. Having said that, 2021, you've done a fabulous job. I would like to thank Anthony for taking up the president's role so well. You have set a benchmark for the next incoming president. Ashley, I wish you the best. Thank you to all the ExCom members. You all have done your best, and I'm sure this has been a good leadership journey. Don't stop. Please help the other incoming ExCom members with your experience, share your experiences so that you can make another person even better. For this, I would like to thank Anthony for giving me this opportunity. All the best to Ashley and your team.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's true. Ashley, Abrar, and many others who have nominated into the ExCom. We will have the voting. So thank you, Siona, for that. We also had Toastmaster Abrar, who had an unfortunate event in his family this month. He would also like to address for a minute or so.
For giving me this opportunity, I would say just one thing, that life is very uncertain. Life is very short. We think we have time, we don't. But as my father used to always tell us, that uncertainty, there is another word called as opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to grow, opportunity for you to be better, and opportunity to have a good life. Connections matter. I really did not think that a lot of members from Toastmasters, from other social connections would reach out, were there, just like how Siona said, emotionally, spiritual. Although I would recommend everyone, stay indoors and try to take care of your family, because these are tough times and this will also pass. I think Siona was just texting me the other day and we were talking about it, like he will give us patience whoever he is and from wherever he controls, and he knows what's best in store for everybody, because he's the best planner. Let's go with that flow and let's live a good time so that we cherish. And this is what, Anthony, you've been doing a great job. The entire ExCom, you all cancelled one meeting and postponed it. That was very nice. Someone is thinking about it. Although, like, during nobody stops for anyone in this world. Everybody just wants to go ahead. But it's nice. You feel welcome. You feel, that someone's there and you really matter. In although we have been connected online for most of our times, virtually, but still we've built up good relations, and I look forward to having a good time with you all, and it's going to improve, inshallah. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Abrar. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters does not just end with professional meetings. It goes beyond. We form a part of not just a fraternity, but a family. And I think that's what makes us interested in the happiness and sorrows of one another. So these were two of our members. Now, we have had guests who were with us right from the start. We had Kenneth. We also had Varish, who got dropped. He was writing to me that he has had network issue. Then we had Bernice, who also joined us midway. But I would like to hear from Kenneth now. How do you feel about the whole meeting, the whole session? And how has your experience been? Do you feel aligned to the Toastmasters, the vibes of it? Go ahead, Kenneth.
100%, definitely. I mean, I could only just go on to say that there's so much of learnings that I could take off once, if I know I'm here, and as this journey will continue and I want to be a part of it, very eagerly looking forward. Always I've been looking forward for it, and now is the time. And thanks to you, Mr. Anthony, that I could get in touch and get this rolling and off my bucket list as well. Definitely the session was so aligned and so informative, and getting to know the other people around here, and the way we communicate, the way our perspectives are about so many different things, the way we put out ourselves out there. So that was definitely more than just learning, and also meeting all of these people. And it was filled with also, I would like to say, like Toastmaster Senthil and the other evaluators, so much of constructive feedback that I could take off. And I was definitely taking it as a smile, even though I became the R King in the first round.
it was something, yes, I know I'm bad at it, but I know I can improve out here. I know I can, there's so much of learning that I could take off everyone out here. So definitely aligned, definitely felt the vibe, and will continue to always be a part of this now. Thank you.
Hey, that's great, Kenneth. You already speak like a Toastmaster. Yeah. Next time you are at the meeting, I would like to call you Toastmaster Kenneth from Vasco Toastmasters.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anthony.
Yes,
Thank you, everyone.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for that. We also had Bernice with us. Bernice, if you could tell us about whatever you have witnessed since the time you have joined, and a little bit about you also as to how did you know about today's meeting. So you could maybe do that. Bernice, over to you if you're listening to me.
Yeah, hi Anthony. Just give me a second. I will have my camera on.
Yes.
Can you guys see me now?
I think it will come on. Yes, yes. Go ahead.
So hi everyone. Good evening, and it's so wonderful to hear everybody speak so well, and I really like the way you guys go about doing this entire process, like having the R counters, the timers, the evaluators. It's just something so very innovative and something so interesting. So I think before I start speaking, let me introduce myself. So I'm Bernice D'Souza, and I'm also from Vasco. I'm currently a master's candidate at University of Sussex, UK, and studying from home remotely, of course, because of the pandemic and the situation. I'm a master's student in governance, policy, and development, and I'm a public speaking fan, if I may say. Haven't really had much time to pursue my passion in the last few years that I've been busy working, doing so many different jobs, and getting back to studying now. But hopefully someday I'll come back and like I had a chat with Anthony. I joined Toastmasters. So besides doing what I love doing, I really enjoy public policy and governance. But my biggest passion is public speaking. It has been there for quite some time, and it'll always be. I'm most alive when I'm on stage, if I may say that. So I love seeing the enthusiasm. I love seeing the energy, and I love seeing how everybody. It's a family. It's a community where you guys are all grooming each other. You're giving constructive, positive feedback. So it's so great seeing people from across the board, from people belonging to my age group, to the seniors in the group, and it's amazing. I really love the format, the structure, the fact that you guys took up the time and are so very punctual. It's amazing, and hopefully I can join you all someday. And good luck, and I pop in sometimes.
Yes, thank you, Bernice. Thank you so much. It was so nice to hear you as well. My God, I think today's guests are more like Toastmasters already. I mean, kudos to you. And Bernice, I do understand your constraints. You've told me about it, but continue joining us as a guest. It doesn't cost to be a part of the meeting. So there you go. Okay. We will also hear from the guest Toastmasters, but after some time. I will take this opportunity now, before I go ahead with my surprise, to give away the awards. So please confirm if you can see my screen with a yes or a no. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, you can keep your videos on, all of you, for this. So we have had a couple of role players and we have had voting. So this is the time to see who wins what. We had the two prepared speakers who were delivering the speeches from the pathway that they have chosen, a pathway that is well defined by Toastmasters International. It's an educational program. You have voted for Toastmaster Abrar as the best speaker. Congratulations, Toastmaster Abrar.
Thank you.
Then we had the speech evaluators. Speech evaluation is also a part of the education program of Toastmasters International, wherein you learn how to evaluate, how to give feedback. And there we've got Toastmaster Fiona Fernandez, who has won the best evaluator. Congratulations. Moving on to the next part, which they call the fun section, and I definitely agree with that. We've had various table topics, speakers, wherein it's impromptu, you're given a topic and you have to speak. And I think this is for sure a deserving one because we have today as our best table topic speaker, our guest, Kenneth Devaraj. Congratulations, Kenneth.
Thank you.
And then in the major role player, the three major role players we've had, you've voted for Toastmaster Senthil Raja as the best major role player for his role as General Evaluator. Congratulations, Senthil. And then in the best minor role player, we have Toastmaster Swayam Naik with his role as the accountant. Congratulations. So congratulations to all the winners, all the other role players who have done equally well. I mean, you see the certificate goes out to one, but there's always a wonderful next time. Now, before we go ahead, remember the surprise I told you about, and this is especially for the members who have been with us over a period of time. Before we go to that, a quick announcement. Just after this meeting, we're towards the end. We will have the club officer elections for the next XCOM. All the members are requested to wait back. And then we have the last XCOM meeting wherein the club members have to wait back. And now back to the surprise for all the ones. It's been a wonderful year. As a charter president of Vasco Toastmasters Club, I think I'm overwhelmed with the response that we've had. I really must thank multiple people in this process. I've got a small something for all the people out there who have helped throughout. This is called the President's Special. And thank you, Minal, for helping me out with this. The Club XCOM is quite important in my whole journey. Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal, for bringing a great support to the club as the club vice president education. I'm sure now at this point, some people don't answer your call knowing that it's you who would be asking for a role. Okay, congratulations. Thank you, Vishal. This is my way of saying thank you to you. Next,
thank you.
We have Toastmaster Abrar. Thank you again for being a great support in the capacity of vice president membership, who has gone about and done so many things. This guy is somebody who I've been on calls when we were getting the club chartered. Thank you, Abrar. Congratulations. Next, we have Meenal, our queen that we call, like we call her. I think she is somebody, when I became the president, she said, see, somebody who didn't want to take a single role and now has become a president and is going higher. I think Meenal has been a constant support. Thank you, Meenal, for the creativity that we need and the push that we need. Okay, so thank you so much, Meenal. The next is Gopal, Toastmaster Gopal. Thank you for your support as the treasurer. I remember we've called you, very close to midnight, and you've woken up and you've done things. Thank you so much. Next, Eden N. Eden N, thank you for your support. Okay, with your secretary. I remember those minutes and everything. They're still up there. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Okay, and this is, not being, what do you say, despite having a division director in house, yet you were doing it by yourself. So I congratulate you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Eden N. Toastmaster Varun, my own mentee, he's been there. Definitely, he's got other things to do, but as Sergeant at Arms, you've always done a fab job. You've been, we've always spoken whenever we had to do roles. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Varun. I must next go to Toastmaster Siona. Now, Vasco has been brainchild of Siona and Clyde, I must admit. Okay, these people have worked. I remember they have had a meeting, a meeting with, I think, single person. One person turned up for a meeting when they had a demo meeting at the Vasco Church Hall. And even I was trying to shy away from it, but thank you for being the driving force behind chartering the club. Thank you, Siona. Thank you very much. Also to Toastmaster Farida, who has helped us, been a pillar of support and the powerhouse of knowledge when we were having when we were having the meetings. Thank you, Farida. I know she's not in the room, but I have already spoken to her, so thank you so much. Toastmaster Nigel, who is the area director currently, is also the mentor for our club. His innovative interactions have been quite insightful. Thank you, Nigel. Clyde, this guy has been volunteering to take up any role, anytime. He has had mentees in the club, and today he is soon going to be starting his term as the division director elect. So congratulations, Clyde. Shivani, I think I must mention you for your innovatively connecting with everyone during during the meetings with your roles. I think you are one person who I must say is very creative, and we, when I say we, I mean the senior members also really look forward to you being groomed into a wonderful, wonderful leader and a communicator. Manishu Nitin, somebody who just drops in, towards the end because of many other things, but he's there for table topics and he always aces it. Congratulations, Manish. This is for you. Aliro, he was been there all enough. Again, despite all odds, he will make it. He's there, and his participation has been continued. He is not here with us today, but just mention his 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 efforts with the club. Toastmaster Saurav for keeping the momentum going. Okay, this person is another Toastmaster who I've seen grown. Thank you for being part of this wonderful journey. Toastmaster Rishabh, again, has been there for all the most of the meetings, taking up roles whenever required and acing it. Toastmaster Swayam, we have seen his creativity already with his spark at the humorous contest. I think this is a special mention I wanted to give. You were, like they say, chota packet, bada dhamaka kind of a thing. You really did a fab job there. Okay, so thank you, Toastmaster Swayam. Toastmaster Ashley, for getting new guests with all your charm and popularity that you have. I think you are doing a fab job for the club. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Anand, for you, for ensuring that you renew the club's team spirit during the meetings. I remember meeting you at the offline meeting that we have had. So thank you so much for that energy. Toastmaster Usha, somebody who's very new, but very enthusiastic with learning new things during the team, during her stint, or rather during her journey with Toastmasters. Toastmaster Ariman, he has been part of the club. We have not met him yet, but he's somebody who I must comment on being very impromptu about making a decision about joining the club and being there. So thanks to Ariman for being part of the club. Toastmaster Akanksha, we have seen you in your role today, but your role as a debutant was something that we cannot forget. You did a wonderful job there. So thank you, Akanksha. Toastmaster Amit, I've seen him participating in club's joint meeting and doing a very good job connecting with him and ensuring that he helps us with renewing the club spirit. Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. Toastmaster Manish Gosalia, these were some members who were with us at the start when we chartered. He provided immense support to the whole club being chartered. We'll be finishing soon. Toastmaster Clifford, again, for his wonderful support. Toastmaster Alida, Toastmaster Anisha, and Toastmaster Sanam for their support in ensuring that the club was chartered. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, I come to the end of the awards. I hope you had fun. Yes. So once again, congratulations to all of you. A round of applause, please. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to announce for all the guests, our next meeting will be in the first week of the next month, which is 2nd. If there's any change, we will communicate it with you. Before we go ahead, I want to thank all the guests, also the guest Toastmasters who are with us. If I will take very quickly in a line or two your feedback, that is the guest Toastmasters. Toastmaster Mansi, maybe in a line or two, if you could tell us how you felt about today's meeting.
I really like the certificate of appreciation that you have given. That is a very nice gesture. So that was really good. And overall, I really enjoyed the meeting and look forward to attending more of these meetings.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mansi.
Also, I would like to invite all of you to Margao Toastmasters Club's meetings when we have them.
Sure. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Senthil, in a line or two, what you felt about the meeting, not as a general evaluator now.
Yeah, Anthony, it was a good meeting, Anthony, to put it very short. You guys did a fantastic job. I understand the challenges that you would have had in bringing people together in this online times. But yes, I feel very happy to be part of this meeting. Kudos to all of you. I'm looking forward to be part of your meetings in the upcoming weeks. And I also would like to invite you to our meetings, which happens on Tuesdays, first Tuesdays, the second Tuesdays, and the fourth Tuesdays, if I'm not wrong. So looking forward to see you all again. Thank you so much. And I will sign off. I have some other commitments as well. Thank you so much, and all the best to all of you. Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanjay.
So with this, I officially adjourn today's meeting. I request the members to wait back, and the guests, we will connect with you. Guest Toastmasters, the non-Toastmaster guests, we will connect with you soon. Thank you so much. The guests, the members, please wait back.
Thank you for having me and all the best to you all.